Hey guys, welcome back to Titans of Tabletop, and today we're talking about the game of chance, evens or odds. Hey guys, welcome back to Titans of Tabletop, the down and dirty D&D channel. I'm DM Dan, and today, as I said, we're talking about the game of chance, a little game I like to call evens or odds. Now, what is the evens or odds game? Well, a lot of times you'll find your players will be like, well, I don't know what to do. Should I do this? Or should I do that? Well, if you make you say to them, hey, do you want to play the game of evens or odds? And if they agree to it, you'll say, okay, well, choice A, what do you want it to be, even or odd? And they'll say even or odd, and then you roll, and you say, okay, it's an even, so you got choice A. Now, I find that playing this game is not only... My players love evens or odds. I mean, I got Anthony to do some lewd things with a goat because he decided to leave it up to evens or odds. And you can listen about that in our quest log with the goats. Anthony. Anyway, so the evens or odds, what does that do besides fun? Because your players, they will like the evens or odds game. And a lot of times, when they come to a decision that would take, you know, like an hour of debate between all the players, and you need a coffee afterwards because you're so tired from it, you can just say the evens or odds, and they'll take the evens or odds. Most times they'll take evens or odds, and that speeds things up. It keeps that game going, you know. It keeps the game going, and it keeps the game fun. Because, you know, everybody loves rolling dice, and especially when you're playing with veteran D&D players, and you incorporate this, it's almost like, ooh, I get to roll the dice for something that's not even in the books. You know what I mean? It's like a little, like a bonus roll or something to them. It's weird, but they'll love it. So give that a try. And that works with anything. Sometimes, one thing you don't want to do this with, I will tell you that, one thing you don't want to do this with is your players walk into a city and they're like, well, I'm looking for the fabled sword of Balthazar's claw or some shit. And, you know, well, what does that do, player? Oh, well, it resurrects me every time I die, and it crits automatically. You know, some OP item that they're looking for, you wouldn't want to do evens or odds, because if they win that, then it kind of would break the game a little bit. With that kind of stuff, you want them to work for it. For that, I would play evens or odds on that to see if there's information in the city that could lead them to that item or help lead them to that item. So, you know, you don't want to say no to your players as much as possible, but you can't just give them stuff like that, even on an evens or odds. So you got to tweak it a little bit to where they're still happy, and you guys can move on quickly. So that's, you don't want, like I said, you don't want to play evens or odds with those legendary items that they're looking for. But evens or odds, I do it a lot of times for that kind of stuff, like when they're looking for something and they're looking for information. Is it here? Evens or odds, yes. If they're looking for, say they go to a smith and I have it all geared up that this smith is particularly fond of axes for some reason, and he doesn't have many of other things, and they're looking for something that's not on the list per se, but they're like, hey, you know, do you have it? And I'll say, okay, well, let's do an evens or odds, because that's, if you're looking for some hand axes and this guy's has mostly daggers, maybe he has 1 or 2 hand axes in his stock. You never know. So evens or odds for that, sure. But mostly I play evens or odds when it comes to a big decision, like Anthony's GOAT decision. For some reason that became a big decision, but and yeah, watch that video. Yeah, so evens or odds, a lot of times we'll do it when there's an important decision, like I was saying. So, do I go right, do I go left, evens or odds. And like I said, players love it, so give it a try. And let us know in the comments if you do try it out and play it with your players on certain occasions. Let us know what the outcomes are, because you'll get some funny outcomes. Sometimes, like with the GOAT thing again, they don't want to do the one thing, but they're willing to play evens or odds. They really don't want to do the one thing, but for some reason, when you ask them, do you want to play evens or odds, they most times say yes, even though that they know that they don't want to do the one thing, completely and utterly do not want to do the one thing. Sometimes they'll leave it up to chance. It also helps to end arguments. Sometimes the players will be like, hey, I want to do this, or I want to do, and the other player will be like, no, I want to do that. You always get that, and sometimes when you have them do an evens or odds roll, it settles it right on the bat, and it doesn't make any hard feelings, because it's not everybody had decided to side with one person or the other. It was just an evens or odds. And a lot of times too, with things that you, as a DM, you get asked by the player, if you leave it up to an evens or odds, there's like no reason for them to get mad at you, because you rolled something and you just left it to chance and they agreed upon it. So it ends a lot of that strife sometimes that groups end up getting, especially when you get the ones who are really, set on they want to do this. This is what my character would do. Evens or odds, and your players won't argue over the next step, which sometimes can be the case. Alright guys, so if you liked this video, please give us a like. If you want to go a step further, share and subscribe, if you're not subscribed already. And follow us on Twitter at TitanStable on Twitter for channel updates, and join that Facebook group, and let's see some pictures. Let's talk some D&D together, and come up with new ideas. All together, we'll come up with new ideas, and we'll display that. And if you guys have any questions about certain DM aspects, throw them at me. I'll do a video for them. Anything. I'll try my best to answer the question as best I can, and we'll get moving on it. Alright guys, well, until next time, I'm DM Dan, and I'll see you later.